Alright, hello everyone! Welcome back to Genshin Impact. Welcome back, of course, to none other than the desert of Sumeru. Look at Celestia back there. They're like, I'm watching you. I'm watching to see what happens with the whole Irminsul crisis. Things are pretty bad. So bad that they have to put it in a story domain. So that way the real Tivat doesn't get messed up. And today we will be starting with Act 10 of the Song of the Welkin Moon chapter of Myriad Paths, Flux, and Dissolution. And last time we opened King Deshret's Aru, his technology to create what he believed would have been a perfect paradise. Not sure we would have all agreed, but either way, we've figured out we can use it to mimic the Akasha system and hopefully investigate what is actually going on in Irminsul and why is everything becoming distorted. What is actually plaguing Irminsul from within? And are we gonna have to burn it all down? Are we gonna have to burn it all? I don't even know how does that even work? What happens if we can't save Irminsul, you know? Literally, it's like the whole foundation by which the world as we understand it goes by, you know? The repository of this world's memories. Of course, we learned from the last act from Apep, one of the 7 dragon sovereigns. She said that Irminsul existed long before the heavenly principles arrived, and was used for a different purpose than what the heavenly principles eventually fashioned it for. So, yeah. We'll see if the world can survive without it then. Either way, I'm looking at Celestia up there. They're sure to take notice. Let's see. Yay, as all falls to emptiness, we got our intertwined fate of Myriad Paths, Flux, and Dissolution. Whoa. And can I just say, like, I always say this, but the writing in this game is so beautiful, and the way the puzzle pieces fit together. Clearly a story written by nerds for nerds. They need to have enough lore experts and lore enthusiasts in the community to be able to put together all the puzzle pieces, and then they need to lay the groundwork for everything and then trust that we're gonna find it. Like, for example, I was thinking to myself, like, if you didn't know that much of the history of like old Genshin lore, then Kale's having the power of the goddess of flowers, Nabu Malikata, it might seem like, you know, they just came up with that. Kind of like the light novel writers in Inazuma. Ooh, I will just come up with this kind of power here. But, so you might be forgiven to think that, oh, they just came up with that. But actually, if you look at, like, all the way back to the manga, like, 7 years worth of lore, and things that they've been hinting at since then, like, you know that Kale was once corrupted by god remains. And I think, I mean, I'm not the expert, but people had deduced that it was the goddess of flowers remains that were within Kale a long time ago. And this is just the first confirmation of it. And that's the thing, is like everything in this game is so intentional. There is like everything, the stars align, but they've been laying the groundwork for this for years. Like none of this is like they just came up with it. Clearly, from this to like the 347 thing to like everything, they lined up the entire story to perfectly fit together after, and that's what makes it so satisfying as a player to enjoy it, right? It's just, if you've been following the story for long enough, you get to see all of these things just come together. It's so awesome. Alright, so anyway, we have to see if we can reprogram King Deshret's Aru, and see if we can use it to figure out what's going on with Irminsul. And thanks to the Ibis King and Co, we were able to do that. Alright. Here we go. Is it still... Oh my gosh. The strobe light effect of the water is really bad. Let's hope that that's not too bad after whatever happens here. Alright, you ready? Are we all ready? I'm ready. Let's go! Here's...
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
Yes. These are our best scholars of our era. Thank you very much.
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh, and these two are Termezi and Naisaburi. Hey, I'll hate them. Come and introduce yourself.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King.
That's true.
And
We all
everyone
have
knows
met
these
before
two.
in that previous event.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
Good to see it's true to life.
You enjoy playing chess. We were just
Oh,
humoring
okay.
you.
Never mind. I take that back.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia
Nice to know
indicates
the
that this
ancient
project
gods are
requires
just as silly
expertise in
as
various
modern
disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory. The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you. If there are no objections, we'd like to begin our work.
Yeah.
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Such brazen words. Humans these days
Yeah,
are
we'll give it our all. We're not
far
gonna
from their
die for this, though, just so
ancestors.
you know.
What little respect
Yeah, you know what? I
show
think
for
modern
King
humans have
No,
rights
no, that's not what he
and
meant.
different
Please
standards
don't mind
than
him.
back then.
He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming that's what you were going for.
Hyperbole.
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
Yeah, you know, I think I'll
Forgive
hate
my
them
lack
might
of
be right
courtesy,
here.
But we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends
Yeah,
of old.
we have standards these days, you know.
Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing,
No,
but...
it's- this
we
like
were
strobe
really
lighting
pressed for
affected the
time on
water.
this
I hope they
occasion.
fix it by
I
the
hope
next
you'll
update.
forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges.
Was it like this before when we
Naturally,
did the quest?
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of respect sufficient,
Well, look,
I suppose
you're
I
a
can
hologram,
consider
dude.
agreeing to their proposal.
I don't think your words
Why
hold
are
as
you
much
so
weight
preoccupied
now than they
with the
once did.
ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them.
Yeah,
You never know.
exactly.
We might have to rely on these
exactly.
young people
Thoth
to look
understands
after us in
the
our old
old and new
age.
generation gotta work together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aru can only be operated by humans.
Is that so?
King Deshret
Is that
always
that
believed
almost
in
sounds like
humanity.
King Deshret
Still,
knew that these
The
guys would
reason that
otherwise
Aru's
use it
modules
for
are designed
corruption.
that way is not so much because he trusted them,
Yeah.
but more because
Well, it's
he was
clearly a
wary
failsafe of
of
the
you.
sorts.
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru then.
Yeah.
He actually required human
He
assistance
probably didn't
to
wanna
create his
just
greatest work.
Distribute his power
Naturally.
amongst his 7 pillars, you know,
Have you
just in
noticed
case.
that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
You don't think he can hear you?
understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King
Just
Deshret
like
being
all
a poor
Hatham
judge of
himself.
character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself
Yeah,
on a
that's exactly
pedestal
what I'm
and
thinking. I'm
mocking
thinking that's
me.
exactly the kind of thing
You're
Alhaitham
mistaken.
does.
And while there's nothing
Just kind
strictly
of like
wrong with making
uses
every
words to put us in
conversation about
circles until
yourself,
we
it's not exactly
kind
a
of don't think
positive
about the
tendency
point.
either.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working
I
with
love,
you.
once
All
again,
right,
the
let me
new
pass.
animations they
I need to
give the
look at this
characters
console.
just like add so
It's
much.
your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone,
I love
please
seeing
proceed with the
Kaveh this
external checks and
sassy.
preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Alright, let's go! I love how they're just hanging out.
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
Right, yeah.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
Don't worry. As you can
I've
see,
reviewed the
the
proposal.
humans can
The work
still
you're planning to
still
carry
revere
out on
you
this
even
grand
now.
device is ambitious in its
It's just
scope.
that reverence looks a little
You
different
have
than it did back in the
ample
day.
confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I'm
I
glad they
wouldn't
can
say I'm
understand the
feeling
kind of
hugely confident.
project
But given how
proposals that we
bad
write in
things
the
are,
modern times,
I'd
because you
rather
don't
at
think
least
it'd be
try
different,
something
kind
than
of
sit
the
around waiting to
language,
die.
the designs that we,
You are
the
the
drawings
top
that we'd use.
scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aru and the Akasha.
Aru and the Akasha.
Yeah, that knowledge might have been lost.
I thought the Akasha was the academia's greatest technological accomplishment.
Yeah,
created
dude,
years
I'm sorry
ago
to tell
by
you
the
this. I think
Dendro
some of
Archon to
the
help her
knowledge and
people access
communication
knowledge.
might have been
And
lost
you
over the
too?
years.
Do you not know either?
You've read the
That-
instruction manual, right? You tell
Yeah,
me.
Alhaitham read the entire Akasha instruction manual. You should know, unless the knowledge has been lost. No, I didn't know that, but actually, if you think about it, that makes sense. Because King Deshret's civilization was so technologically advanced, it makes sense that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata would base the design of the Akasha, and even connect it with Aru, you know, like, take inspiration from the technology that already exists and have it be interwoven, interlinked, since these all are computer systems in a way, and they can communicate with each other.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
She is.
It used to sit on
Both
a
of
shelf in
them.
the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most popular
Yeah.
read. If the manual is to be believed, Aru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
Oh, so that was written down.
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere. And practically none of the scientific expeditions into the desert had anything to do with it.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
No.
I'm from Vahumana.
Oh, you are?
Well, veracity.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur.
Yeah, you know.
I may as well tell you.
Okay.
In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru.
The angel of
The
Sumeru.
glory of the heaven was
Nabu
within her.
Malikata.
She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land.
I see.
Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. Two other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the three met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the three, which
Oh, that
transcended
literally
both time
is literally
and
just a fly
life.
on the wall listening
For
to
they promised that in
knowledge
Sumeru,
of the entire
wisdom
world.
would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this
Oh.
was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath.
Aww, that's so sad. And I think it was King Deshret loved her, but I'm not sure she loved him back. But either way, was still willing to do this for him. And so then he buried her in the Eternal Oasis, except for whatever fragments Totore got of her and essentially defiled. Huh. No, that makes a lot of sense. See, sometimes it's like, that's also what's fascinating. Sometimes it's like, well, when you say it like that, that makes sense that she was punished for prying into the secrets of Celestia. But it makes so much sense once you say it. In hindsight, yeah, that's why.
So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru,
while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
I see.
Well, if the two
And
share
then that
a
also
common
makes sense why King
technological
Deshret's
origin,
civilization was
and
so
connecting one
technologically
system
advanced
to the
if it
other
was
is an entirely
from stolen
feasible
knowledge
idea.
from Celestia.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
I'm gonna be really real, my king. I'm starting to realize every technologically advanced civilization, maybe not every, I don't know Conria, but the dragons were literally gods. They had technology that was really advanced, like, you know, the secret source dragons and all of that. But it makes sense now that with King Deshret's civilization, their technological advancements came from stolen knowledge from Celestia. If you think about the heavenly principles and the primordial dragons as being the most advanced beings in this universe, it makes sense that the greatest technology came from them, and that's why they saw, at least the heavenly principles saw Conria as a threat, because if intelligence and advancements in technology are signs of... That's the thing. We're used to talking about stuff like with gods and mortals being related to magic and fantasy. But in this world, if you think about it from the perspective of harnessing... Yes, harnessing magic in terms of the elements, but also developing technology, then you can see why Conria was an instant threat to the heavenly principles. Like, even beyond the fact that they did not revere the gods. It was that they were achieving technology that before had only come from the gods. But they didn't have a god of their nation. It was entirely run by humans. But going back to this point, do you have any reverence at all for celestial technology? It's occurring to me, I try to think what other civilizations might have based their technology on Celestia technology. This is so fascinating! Because, yeah, clearly a lot of this knowledge has been lost to this day. It's one of those fascinating genres in media where we have, like, ancient civilizations were more technologically advanced than the current civilization. But, yeah, it's just really fascinating. Okay.
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Yeah, sorry, this is
Perhaps you could
Dark
try coming up
Cloud.
with our cutoff dates.
Yeah.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Poor Kaveh.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
Yeah,
Yes.
my Ibis King.
You strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition.
I see.
What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge
Lizard?
brought into the world. Her courage and
Hello?
sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice.
Okay. Well, first of all, you can see why the Goddess of Flowers would have been everything to King Deshret. She literally died to bring him forbidden... Well, not literal forbidden knowledge. Knowledge that he was forbidden to know. I say that because forbidden knowledge is an entirely different thing. It's the abyss knowledge. But, like, you know, confidential knowledge. She risked it all and gave her life and died a horrible death for that. And that beauty in the world died with her from King Deshret's perspective. Second, okay, now that he's holding the lizard, A, That's a very large lizard. That's not how large the lizard looks when you pick up the lizard as an item. Okay? Or when you see it scurrying around the world. That's not how large the lizards usually are. And second, do you remember how at the beginning of Act 7, when there's like the lizard there, and we were thinking like, oh, what if Dottore has something to do with the lizard? The lizard has like red eyes like him, and like we're thinking about like that digital effect at the end of Act 8, and the possibility that Dottore is affecting Irminsul, and then what does this lizard mean? Like, Asher is like staring at this lizard. There's like a lizard just like this. There's the white and black one with the red eyes. And Asher's staring at this lizard, and it stares uncomfortably long at this lizard where the lizard scurries away. Now dude's holding the same kind of lizard. I'm like, wait a second. Isn't that a bit suspicious? No, this is the same kind of lizard that they stared at uncomfortably long and kind of looked like it has Dottore eyes, and we're talking about changes to Irminsul here? And time moving backwards kind of thing? I'm just saying. I think they want to deflect by having him talk about something else while he's holding the lizard, but I think the lizard means something.
And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love. Even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro. Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both.
Yeah, not the enemy of wisdom. Then it becomes this big irony that thousands of years later, the people of the rainforest and the people of the desert become enemies, with the people of the rainforest withholding wisdom from the people of the desert, and believing that King Deshret and the Dendro Archon, which is either Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali, depending on which version of history you know, but portraying them as enemies, when in fact they were actually the dearest of friends till the very end. And history just became so distorted because the people forgot that history and became enemies with each other. It's just very ironic. It's one of those things, after all laying the groundwork for all these puzzle pieces, in the end, the most important thing is there's still like this deep, profound moral of the story and all these life lessons to be learned that are told so well. And it's just like the tragedy of it all, that history did not remember their friendship and their people became enemies in later days. Yeah.
In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
Well.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
Yeah, which
This
I wouldn't say it's a bad
explains why
thing
Aru was
to
both a
essentially,
prison and
with
a
that
monument.
alliance holding you
And
in
why the
check
answer
from
to the three
destroying the
questions
world
was
kind of thing, you know?
time.
You have to be careful who
The
you get
answer is
involved
time.
with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent,
A prison
I'll
and a
offer little
monument.
help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Oh, don't ask questions like that.
Yes, me and him.
Now then, close your
Oh,
eyes.
okay. I thought they were going to argue about which one of them was in charge. I'm glad they can agree on that
Wisdom
point.
hides in the space between the
I'm
tangible
glad.
and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Existence. Whoa.
Where did this come from?
Holograms.
new
More
mechanism?
holograms.
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the
All
Akasha
Hatham sounds
allows
impressed. You
access
should
a
be
greater
impressed with
range of
yourself that
knowledge,
you've managed to
the
impress
power of our
All
king permits
Hatham,
one to
who usually
perceive
sounds very
ingenuities that do
emotionless
not
and
belong to
not
this
emotionless.
world.
He just doesn't care.
This
It's
is
not
no
emotionless.
ordinary
It's
mechanism.
just
It reflects the internal
Oh, it's like the
structure of
chessboard.
Aru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case. But wait, how do I get up there?
Turn around.
Marak can fly
So
you up
that's
there.
where the elevator is.
Oh, or that. Of Myriad, Path, Flux, and Dissolution, and still distorted, just like, just like before. Hey, that reminds me. Yeah, we saw that glitchy title screen the second time the end of True Moon, the Act 8 happened. We saw the beginning of Act 9. We didn't see it at the end of Act 9. Act 9 had a regular quest end screen, but now we see that distortion again. I've always thought the King Deshret technology is so cool now. I mean, it always was. I was gonna say it always was, but now understanding it's based off of stolen knowledge from Celestia. I can see Celestia not liking that at all. Essentially, the Heavenly Principles is kind of just a control freak in a way. Only those who they deem trustworthy of the power may wield it. Study the mechanism. Oh yeah, saying
Scanning.
Kaveh. Marak should have just flown Kaveh up here. Just like in that one event. Although that wasn't Marak flying him, that was Farazan's little pyramid thing. But still. Release? Okay. Usually the mechanisms you need to do that. Okay. So we need to stop this red barrier. Does it filter it red, or does it just stop it altogether from passing through? Okay, it just stops it altogether. So that's not gonna do anything, right? Can I move this? Okay, how do we make the barrier go down? Oh, there we go. So we send the beam, it activates that thing. Yeah, this is all coming back to me. I remember solving mechanisms like this before. Now, where does this go? Okay. Goes here. Okay. An obelisk.
Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. Hey, Al-Hatham, there's some writing here I'll need you to decipher. I've sent it to your screen. Do you see it?
Oh, that's so smart! They have smartphones
It's a
now!
little blurry, but I should manage.
They have smartphones! Okay, hold on. Hold on. I don't think we've seen in this game... They have phones, kind of. They have screens for, like, watching films. I haven't seen them do FaceTime yet, but that seems to be what they're doing. When did your technology get so advanced? Did you just learn all of this from King Deshret right now?
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and I'll send any other similar text directly to you from now on.
Let's start with this one. It's a variant of an older script. Herein lie verses written for the Yellow Sands. Looks like cultural information from the age of King Deshret.
If so, I suggest you delete it.
Why?
Words thrown together merely for fun.
Ah.
I had no idea Aru kept a record of this.
This is like, oh, so-and-so poet, like 500 years ago. Yeah, I'll just say the flowers were red. The roses were red. And then, like, English teachers 500 years later. Okay, so there's, like, all the different poetic devices here. And what is the meaning of red? And the symbolism of the rose? And does it mean this and that? And then probably, like, the poet was like, oh, I mean, I didn't think about it that hard. Or maybe they did. But there's gotta be some cases where they didn't think about it as hard as we think about it when analyzing the poetry 500 years later in English class. That is this game's equivalent of that.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information, that's fine.
It is unimportant.
It's unimportant. What was it again? Herein lies verses written for the yellow sands. Okay, so it's literally poetry. It's literally poetry, and it's like, oh, I don't want my journal full of poetry to have been remembered like 2,000 years later.
All right, well, I guess I'll start now.
Alright. Oh, so you use a whole obelisk to store that? You guys are funny. Which way does this go? That way. I mean, how can you tell what direction it's gonna go in? Like, this was not facing this diagonal right here. And I guys need to rotate that, and then it unlocks that one. I mean, you can't really tell where the orb is gonna go, but you can kind of see where the pattern is going. So now I have to rotate this. You got it, Kaveh! Surely you had to be the one doing this and not Alhaitham. Otherwise, what would we do? Another obelisk.
Found some more. Sending them over to you now.
These are all reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Okay.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has already been archived anyway.
Really? You don't want to double check it?
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do if they come after us in the future?
I'm like, we don't have to be that hasty about deleting all the stuff. Clearly the stuff was like, okay, this guy's journal that he doesn't want people 2,000 years later to be reading, fine. We can delete that. But I feel like historical records of wars, you know, I think we might want to review it before we delete it. Make sure the information isn't redundant, because you don't actually know if you're just skimming it.
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't even be an academia in the future.
True.
Let alone a
Oh,
Vahumana
I see.
Darshan.
So is deleting it part of what you have to do in order to prep the prep for Aru to be reprogrammed?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, then I guess you have no choice. Maybe take some photos of it, you know, if you have smartphones.
I'll check them out.
If you have smartphones, just take pictures of the pages, and then it's not stored in here. You know, that's what I would do. Okay. Gotta go over to here. Move cell. Okay. And then this needs to be turned, I think. Yep. Okay. So if this pyramid here is a big information center, I assume this is where we're gonna reprogram Aru? This is much bigger than the other obelisks we just saw. Oh, no, it's actually an obelisk again.
Another monument.
Oh, hold on.
What about it?
You're still reading it? How long is
Well,
it?
clearly, Kaveh, this
It
one looks
records
bigger than the other
development and
ones.
governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aru.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety, so I had to rely on my intuition to pick the parts worth keeping.
Yeah.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence them after the construction of Aru
Wow,
was
and you put
complete.
that on the record in
Sounds like
Aru?
pure mythology to me. Surely that kind of thing didn't
I don't know,
really happen.
Kaveh. That seems like their civilization was much more harsh
The
towards
records do
dissenters
emphasize
than
that this was merely their
currently.
conjecture based on various myths. Still, The artisans did leave details of their plans to survive, including blueprints for their escape route.
Why does it seem like we're gonna need to know their escape routes? Seriously, you guys wrote this on the record in the machine about... Alright.
Even that got recorded? Okay, well, I'll make a copy of this first before I delete it.
Okay.
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I want to keep them as a memento.
Yeah. Look, we're the ones who, you know, we're going to die if we don't have the escape route. And also, it's kind of sentimental, and I think that's the best thing to, out of all of that, to keep.
I think that should just about do it.
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
I gotta say, it's the strangest feeling, this cross between reality and the intangible. It's like drifting between life and death, or in and out of a dream.
Yeah.
Using my own hands to manipulate
I know.
illusions that are forever out of reach.
We're getting into like the interstellar territory of... I mean, we've already gone into the interstellar territory of what this... what this game story can be like. But... yeah, it's just really fascinating.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense. Definitely a novel experience.
What happens if my spirit just floats away?
That won't happen. Anyway,
Aw.
I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. There's likely to be a phase 2 of this project.
Can I just say that that won't happen is the first time I've ever seen Alhaitham say anything reassuring to Kaveh. Usually he's just saying, well, maybe you're right. Like doing nothing to quell Kaveh's anxieties at all. But even here, this is where it's like, alright, now he actually has to say something hopeful. And he's like, anyway, I wouldn't celebrate. Like the hesitation. Like, this is Alhaitham breaking character, because that's how serious it is. We didn't see this side of Alhaitham at all during the previous Archon quest. But that's how you know things are bad. Things are bad.
Alright. I'd better keep my wits about
I know,
me then.
Alhaitham being civil and nice to Kaveh. In this world, in this life.
I expected
What's up,
that the
my
outside
kings?
world no longer respected the ancient gods, but even so, I do find the tone of these youngsters to be dreadfully impolite.
It should
What
hardly
do you
come as a
mean?
surprise to you.
I think,
remember you
yeah,
saying
we're
the
probably
same
not
thing last
as
time.
polite compared to the ancient
I
people,
assumed
but
that
I
was
think
just
we've
a
shown
one-off.
some pretty
I
good
did not
reverence.
realize it was the norm.
Don't you think that young lad's matter-of-fact tone sounds familiar? It bears
I
a
know.
rather uncanny resemblance
Goatee.
to you, Goatee.
Alhaitham
Surely a
sounds
sign
just
that
like
he's a
you.
man of rare intelligence.
Oh. The rest of them, though, much better. The blonde-haired one, for instance.
Aw.
So sincere. That's the
Yes,
kind of kid I can
praise
respect.
Kaveh for being the
Oh,
bestest.
really? Well, what about your disciple, Nefer? She's about the furthest from sincerity that a person can
True,
get.
a liar's soul.
Ah, and now you hit the crux of the issue. Thoth is spouting lies again. He cares nothing for sincerity. He likes Nefer simply because her personality is just like his.
True.
Thus, in giving his approval to Nefer, Thoth is simply validating himself. The rest is but smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
You have some nerve saying that. There really is no helping you two.
Sillies.
Shut
all
up,
of them.
chess rookie.
What nonsense is this? How dare you tell me to shut up?
How can you engage in such
Oh.
banal chitter-chatter at a time like this? Aru has been opened. The glory and splendor
Yeah, that's
of a
right.
bygone age.
Yeah,
is
the
about to
old
sweep
bygone
over the
age.
earth like a flood.
Is being
And you're here
lost.
squabbling like petulant
Aru
children.
is being undone as you
All
once knew
three
it.
of you are insufferable. King Deshret was merciful, indeed, giving you a chance to be released from prison. I say, you should have been locked up for good.
Ah, but Bennu, look on the bright side. Had they not been released, we would not have been awoken.
Oh, you've been here this whole time. You should be scolding them along with me.
I miss Hermanubis. It's not a real reunion without him here.
Get Sino over here. I know it's.
Now you're avoiding the topic and talking to yourself.
I know it's definitely not the same.
Sino
Sino is nothing like Hermanubis,
I
but
will
still.
never understand.
Isn't this simply proof that our king supports my free will?
Oh, look at those two rust buckets. Suddenly, you two do not seem so bad after all.
Here, here. If being stuck together for thousands of years fosters no friendship, I cannot say what would.
Naturally.
Oh my gosh, they're so silly. That's the thing, is realizing in many ways. In many ways, there's certain parts of ancient civilizations that must have been just like ours, and those elements of them have been lost. And then many that haven't, you know, like there's like, like clearly humans dying to create Aru, humans dying to create, you know, the Great Pyramids is not something we endorse anymore. But that doesn't mean they didn't live without humor or anything like that. I mean, we don't know. Maybe they didn't. Maybe life was just really bad back then, just like we imagine. Or maybe not. We'll never know. But in this version, at least the gods are just chilling and having fun, obviously. They're just a little bit silly.
How's it going? Are things progressing smoothly?
Well enough, I suppose. You know how it is. The work itself is only half the problem. The other half is having to work with Al-Haytham.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure
for
the feeling is mutual. Honestly, though, I thought you two had already worked things out.
As if. Turns out working closely together is the best way to expose any
Yeah, well,
tensions
actually, I
lurking
think they
beneath the
have worked
surface.
things out. This is just how they
Besides,
roll.
I just think that some people never change.
Agreed. Case in point, you didn't make sure I was out of earshot before you started complaining about me.
Old habits
Complaining.
die hard.
Actually, this is for your own good. Maybe if you spend a little more time listening to what other people have to say, you might actually realize that you're the problem.
I think he already knows he's the problem. He already knows what other people think. Like, that's the whole thing about. That's the entirety of Al-Haytham's personality. Is he just does not care at all. Like, genuinely has such a thick skin. He does not care at all what other people think of him. He doesn't care what other people think, period. Like, remember, the entire time with the Sumeru Archon quest before, he just wanted to help out, really, because restoring the peace means he can just go back to living his normal scribe life. But actually, he's not bothered at all. Like, you remember in the Al-Haytham story quest, I don't remember the details. Like, there was the guy who was so jealous of him, and it's like he does not care. He just doesn't care. So that's the entire difference between Kaveh and Al-Haytham is Kaveh, you know, where he is like a kind soul, but also, you know, wears his heart on his sleeve and is, I guess, in that way, emotionally vulnerable, which I think is a good trait for him. But it's definitely the foil to Al-Haytham because he takes everything to heart. He listens to how everybody feels. You know, he tries to be like that empathetic friend, and sometimes, you know, that gets to him. And on the other hand, you have the complete opposite in Al-Haytham, where he literally does not care. So, yeah, that's the interesting foil between the two of them.
Naivete is another old habit of yours.
I had assumed that you both volunteered for this project, like us forest rangers. But now I'm getting the sense that wasn't the case.
Definitely not. We were assigned to it by Lesser Lord Kusanali and Nephis.
Wait, is Nahida back?
As much as I'd love to be doing
Is Nahida
normal
back?
work for normal
Is Nahida
clients,
back?
these Titan projects are all that's on offer right now. Though I'm sure they wouldn't be roping us in if they had any better options. Just
Yeah,
goes to show
dude,
how
you remember the
short-staffed
whole issue
academia
here
really
is
I'm sure
Ermin's
you've
soul
prepared
is
yourself mentally,
dying
but I still feel
or
the need
sick,
to advise you to
and
lower your
the world as you
expectations.
know it is
It
gonna
might
get
make the process of
distorted.
working together a
Distorted.
little less intolerable.
I know! Same to you! But if you already understood that, you should also know not to say the quiet part out loud.
Why don't you come help me with my forest patrols? Might help you avoid any further disagreements.
Good suggestion, but unfortunately, differences of opinion will always exist. Changing the nature of the work won't get rid of them.
For once, I actually agree. There is zero chance of us ever resolving our differences. Zero! But even so, the work must be done. Care for some coffee?
Perfect married couple here.
I'm glad to see you making progress.
Don't act so smug! It'd be nice if you made some too!
I feel like even I've made some progress today. In the past, I never would have dared to try and mediate a conflict between you two while you're both right there in front of me.
Apologizing probably makes it sound like I'm in the wrong, but...
No, that's not what
I'm
apologizing
sorry.
means. In fact, that's a really important point, is... apologizing is really to... apologizing should not be made out to be assigning blame or anything like that. Apologizing is to be able to move forward and resolve differences, not just say who's at fault or admitting that... inherently admitting that you're wrong. And, well, in a way, yes, in a way you are admitting that you're wrong, but also admitting that you're willing to see past whatever conflict there was. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, though, I for sure know Haytham's gonna make him regret doing that.
I was just kidding. Truth be told,
Oh, he's apologizing to
I don't have
Tenari.
any
Okay.
work to do at
Yeah.
the moment, so I'm just here to kill some time.
How's Kale?
How is Kale?
She's studying with Nicole. I'm not sure how she's getting along,
Aww.
but she seems to be in good spirits at least.
I'm glad that... See, I'm glad that Nicole is here. I'm glad that there actually is still an angel around to be able to guide her now that she's discovered this power. And I hope they can be good friends, because... I love seeing Nicole interact with Farazan too, like... just seeing them get along with their mutual love for the classics and being old ladies surrounded by all the youngsters. But it's good to see that she's able to guide Kale. That's really good.
I wouldn't worry. Angelic affairs are probably above your pay grade anyway.
I think it's
I know
above
what you
everyone's
mean,
pay grade
but
here.
Sino and I are still a little concerned for her. He said he'd go keep Kale company after he's finished training the mercenaries. I'm planning to join them myself shortly.
Kale will be okay. Have faith in her.
Aww.
Even we can see how much more confident and outgoing she's become in these past few years. Thanks to you and Sino being there for her and providing guidance every step of the way, she can finally stand on her own 2 feet.
On her own 2 feet.
Does it feel bittersweet? Watching the younger generation grow up and move on.
Aww.
No, not yet, at least. I was just thinking, I wish there was more I could do for everyone.
She'll be fine.
She'll be
Yeah,
fine.
she will. Just try to relax.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, don't worry, Tainari. I mean, just think about that dream that she had. She was in tears when her master Master Tainari didn't recognize her. I know, right? But that's literally the thing. When this game actually goes on for years and years, you get to see that real-time growth of the characters, and seeing Kale grow up is actually really touching. Essentially, Tainari and Tainamo. Tainari and Sino having raised her essentially all these years, and just seeing, yeah, exactly how much more confident she's become, and she's able to read now and go to school, and actually has a chance of accomplishing her dreams and being able to help people. Like, you should be proud of yourself. I know there's more you want to do, but just think, you guys literally saved her life and let her prosper and have a whole new life after essentially she was just left to die or suffer after the experiments on her. I mean, you guys gave her that chance, so yeah. Let's see. Alright, the quest sound again. Alright, head to the entrance To King Deshret's mausoleum. Okay. Where are we going? It's only ether? Where are we going? And why? No, seriously, I forgot. Where's ether going?
Traveler from afar, do you worry for the fate of Sumeru as well?
You can come out here? Dude, I thought like Brooke's gonna be like, whoa, I haven't seen the sun in like thousands of years.
Whoa! It's the Crocodile King!
Greetings, Crocodile King.
Greetings, Crocodile King.
Please be at ease. I'm just here to chat with you about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Okay.
Sounds like you really care about her.
Ether talks.
Yes, although to be exact, it is a mixture of both concern and curiosity that I feel.
Speaking of Nahida, Paimon was wondering how she's doing.
Wait a moment.
Yeah, do the other... Okay, I'm not sure this is what he's thinking about. Do the other characters find it weird that we call her Nahida? Like, Nahida is what she asked us to call her, but other people don't know her by that name, so does that not... It doesn't seem to ever make anyone confused, though.
What is it?
I tried calling out to a pep, but there was no response. This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy on taking care of Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh, okay.
All the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that a pep agreed to help Nahida. Guessing
Well-
she made a bad impression on you or something.
Well, that's... Paimon, that's the impression a Pep gave us as well. You know, I didn't think she was really gonna be willing to help Nahida either.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king?
Yes. I mean, I think she ends up corrupted by the forbidden knowledge that King Deshret
Then
unleashed.
you are learned indeed. I'm
Yeah.
glad to know that
We know our
Sumeru
stuff.
has the support of someone like you. At the end of his life, King Deshret tricked the Dendro Dragon into swallowing him whole,
Yeah,
leaving her to
I remember
bear
that.
the torment
That's
of
why.
his sins.
That's why she got
The
corrupted by the
Dendro
forbidden
Dragon
knowledge. And all the
despised King
creatures
Deshret,
inside got
yet
corrupted
he
too.
outwitted her. Rather than bringing disaster to the land, he chose to deceive her and thereby ensure his annihilation. An act that surely displays his love for humanity. The Dendro Dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. All the gods, all the power they wielded.
Oh, they stole from
And
the
so,
dragons.
her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great surprise indeed. It makes one wonder whether, perhaps, the Dendro Archon assisted her in the
Astutely
past.
noted, indeed.
Yep, Nahida did her a huge
Yes, she
favor.
did. You tell Sobek about how Nahida helped to free a pet from her suffering. That was Nahida's second story quest.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro Dragon's many long years of torment. As much as she loathes the Seven, a pet knows kindness when she sees it. No wonder she was willing to make an exception.
Yeah, that's the sense
Yeah.
we got from dealing with her too.
She owes
She
a favor.
is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Rather, she actively chooses to avoid coexistence. And this despite the fact that she symbolizes life itself. How ironic. All of this being said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if I were you. Nothing will change her
Yeah.
hatred towards humanity.
Well, we'll
and
see.
gods.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. On the one hand, I agree. I have the impression that this is a one-time thing, and we shouldn't expect continuous favors from a pep. But on the other hand, thousands of years of resentment is a long time to hold on to resentment. At what point does one decide they'd rather let go than hold that grudge for so long? You have to wonder, right?
Anyway, how much longer do you think Nahida needs to stay with the pep?
Maybe we should go and pick her up?
For all we know, the Fatui might still be in the desert. Just to be on the safe side, why don't we grab anyone who isn't busy right now and go look for her?
Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
alright, Paimon.
Oh, Nahida!
Was that Nahida's voice?
By the way, where's Wanderer? We haven't seen a lot of Wanderer, even though I'm pretty sure he's going to be really important to this. Remember, though, The first time we ever hear Nahida's voice is when we were in the Golden Apple Archipelago during that summer event. And she's able, even though she's still trapped in the Sanctuary of Sarasthana, is able to speak through Alice's Dodo communication device. And, you know, with her power of dreams, is able to transform all of the islands into this beautiful, modified wonderland for us to play in. Her power is very far-reaching, even when she was imprisoned. So, yeah.
It seems the treatment was effective.
Oh?
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Look, Nahitos came back! Well, Apep really did return her. I didn't think it'd be that easy. Or
I had no
that
intention
convenient.
of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is, and how much hope it brings.
You dare appraise my being?
Alright.
No, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your precious life force with me.
Awake already. You are more resilient than I thought.
Pep. I feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumeru's ley lines will be competently managed.
We will try our best.
If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being held to account by me.
Oh.
I
Well,
understand what you require, but I would assume this task even if you did not demand it. Sumeru is my responsibility. I must resume my duties as soon as possible.
A farcical notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you
Yeah,
realize how
don't-
unextraordinary your strength is.
we do need your help, I think, for this situation. But probably don't go exhausting all of your strength and passing out again, because that is not going to help any of us.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me. A god of wisdom is not meant to rule by force.
True.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Well, I'll be. Is that a pep? Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King
Yep,
Deshret?
and going no
I
further.
see that after all this time, El Ahmar's menagerie of ministers remain as vile
Menagerie
as ever.
of Ministers is such a funny
It's
type.
a pleasure, Dendro Dragon. Had you arrived but a little sooner, you might have attended a meeting of the Seven Pillars.
What a nauseating thought.
Yeah, so good that didn't happen.
You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure of dealing with today. A swarm of them tugged on my tail on my way over.
Oh?
Goodness knows what hovels they crawled
Who
from.
would that be? The Fatui?
Why do all the creatures of this world remain so lowly after all this
Wait, is it
time?
actually the Fatui?
What did you do with them?
She probably ate
Cast
them.
them away. What would you have me do? Keep them as trinkets?
Well, she didn't
Sure.
eat them.
This is where we shall part ways. To be clear, I do not wish to see you or anyone else here ever again, unless absolutely necessary.
Noted. Okay.
Then I wish you peace as you return to your dwelling place.
Thank you for helping Nahida.
It matters not to me. Simply refrain from bothering me again.
Alright, well. That went about as well as we could have hoped.
A force to be reckoned with. At times like this, I feel glad that she has no interest in any of this.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Hold on, just hold on.
Oh,
okay?
Sorush!
We're almost there.
Who? Oh my gosh! Oh my god, it's Sorush! Sorush and all the Aranara companions, it's our weekend!
We made it.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, that voice. It's
Sorush! add that to the list of world quests that should be free. Goes, no, the Aranara! No! I've got you. Have we? Have we really got you? Good job, Ether. Oh my gosh, look at our companions! Look at all of our friends! Oh my gosh! Sorush! All of the Aranara! Your first time in an Archon quest! Welcome, welcome, welcome!
Well, that's a relief. A pair of safe hands indeed.
The Dendro Archon's familiars. They are the last thing I expected to see here.
Huh?
Well,
Wait, what are the Aranara doing
obviously they're where the Dendro
Don't you guys
Archon
hate
is.
the desert? Obviously I was worried about the Dendro Archon. I've been supporting them with my Pari powers
Oh my
the
gosh,
whole
they're
way
so
here.
cute!
Oh, they seem pretty nervous. Is it because there are too many people around?
Wait a second. Can the three kings over there see the Aranara? Can they?
Not just people. It's all these non-human beings, too. It's hard on them. I can't believe you made such a long and dangerous journey just for my sake. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you all. I'll have to ask everyone to wait while I help our new arrival settle in. Once I'm done, I'll gather everyone to discuss our next steps.
That was so cute, though. Once again, they are just adding. They've discovered they can add so many more animations into the story, and so they realize they can just have Sorush flying all the Aranara in. That's so cute. I think it's really funny that the Aranara can only appear to children or those that are a child at heart, and that these three guys can see them. Or maybe it's because they're gods, and so they're the exception to that rule. But maybe because they also are children.
Traveler, Paimon, shall we find a place for our friends to stay?
I would love to. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, it's so special to see, like, if you've played all of these world quests. Like, now we've got Cyno's Story Quest 2, Nahida Story Quest 2, the entire Golden Slumber and Desert of Hadramath questline with Jet and Lilupar, the Sorush questline, and the Aranara questline are all things you see. It's so rewarding to have done all that and now get to see those characters get to participate in the main story. It's so cool. Sure.
Awesome! Let's go! Well, first I have some questions.
Okay. You answer Nahida's questions. Bring her up to speed on everything that has happened. Yeah, you missed a lot. But not that much considering.
Okay, I think that covers everything. Thank you. We can get going now.
I was just gonna say, is this the first time we've seen Nahida in the desert? But no, she came in the desert before when we were the whole... Oh my gosh. No way. Oh my gosh! There's no way! There's no way! Wait! They follow? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, they're so cute! Once again, it just feels so rewarding to have done all of these side quests and see how they affect the main quest and how having done them means you are living the true canonical story. But it's so amazing. The way they bump into each other just to follow me. They're so cute. They're so cute. I can't. They should let you have multiple pets out at once, and then they should give us an Aranara pet. Or multiple Aranara pets. And then we just have the Aranara and Endora and the Sealies and Shiki Taisho and and the Catbot and the Cloud Retainer and just all of them following us, and just have like a whole like group of them following us. Oh, I think that's the barrier of where they can go. Is that right? How far can I go? Where's the barrier? Where is the edge of this world? You know what? I don't really want to test it. I don't want to abandon them. I don't want to abandon them. They came so far to come and see us. Just look at them all. Yeah, Ararikan and Crow. Thank you so much, sorush, for bringing them here. Dude, and the way like their little propeller heads spin just adds to the cuteness so much. Oh my gosh, I love them. Arabalika. Alright, I think that's where we're gonna end off this episode. We're gonna end off with cute Aranara. See? Cute Aranara are here. Nothing bad could possibly happen now. Right? Right? We are saved. Doesn't matter what happens with Irminsul. Everything's gonna be alright because we have Aranara friends. And sorush. Aww. Alright, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.